guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, hi, my name is Lauren. I run Life as Storyteller. I am an actress and a teacher, and I've chosen name Life as Storyteller because the joke amongst my friends is that I love to tell a story. Everything can become a story. So I might as well get my money's worth out of it. This is Daniel.
Hello.
He's my fiance. We're getting married next year. And this is our Disneyland Paris trip review. So we have been back from Paris, not even a week?
Not a week yet.
So I thought now was a good time to review the trip. Obviously, I've been to Disneyland Paris multiple times, and I will be going again and again and again. But this is Daniel's first time, and I'm determined it will not be his only time, but I think it's going to be quite a while till I get you back there. So, I'm going to start with an overview. What did you think of Disneyland Paris?
It was fine.
Okay.
So let's explain a little bit of what we're doing. You wanted to do this trip because I'm not a Disney fan, and you wanted to see, by going to Disneyland Paris, would I become a Disney fan, or at least become a Disneyland fan?
Yeah.
Fanalan. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fanalan. No is the answer. To keep it quite simple, I thought it was sweet. I thought it was cute. I loved seeing how excited you were, but I just don't have an emotional attachment to those characters.
That's fair. I'm wondering if it'll be slightly different when because our plan once we're married is to start saving and go on like a big holiday rather than doing like a honeymoon immediately. So we'll do the wedding first, then plan for the honeymoon. We've spoke about going to Japan for a couple of weeks. So I'm wondering if you will have a different reaction when we're in maybe like Universal and they've got like the Super Mario Land or the Pokemon stuff.
Yes. So that's it. I still do. I think one thing I will never get, no matter how much I like the people there, or the characters there, is character meet and greets. Having said that, I might take my picture next to a giant Pikachu. But it is just a bloke in a costume.
It's probably not a bloke.
Just
You have to be under 5 foot to play Pikachu.
It's a woman in a costume. Yeah. Right? You know?
Let's not ruin the illusion.
So
it's a real Pikachu, right?
Anyway.
So, I didn't convert you into being a Disney fan, but did you actually enjoy the Disney parks?
I did enjoy the Disney parks. I enjoyed Studios more because there was more characters that I resonated with.
Because that's where you've got Marvel.
No Star Wars there.
No, Star Wars used to be over there, but it's Marvel. We spent a lot of time in Marvel Land. You still didn't see any of the shows that were there, ironically.
No.
For some reason, every time we were there, none of the above shows were happening, which is what I really wanted him to see.
Yeah.
We walked past at one point and it was Star-Lord's like dance party thing, which is by far one of the worst things Disney has ever made. Just saying. And we did not watch it. I was like, nope, we're walking away. You do not need to experience the horror that I had to last time. But yeah, you've got things like Ratatouille's over there. I find Studios, there's a lot of mismatched rides.
Yeah.
They've all got a theme, but they're not in their own themed area like the rest of Disney. And that takes me out of the experience. That's why I don't like the Studios as much.
I think, obviously, you've got the whole Frozen Land coming.
Which I am ecstatic for.
Which will be its whole own themed area. But
yeah.
Until that comes, the way that Studios seemed to me was like everything that was too small to have its own land.
Yeah, I mean, you've got Toy Story Land there, but again, the rides are dedicated for little kids, so we didn't spend
much time there.
That much time there, because I wanted to prioritise not the more grown-up stuff, but you know what I mean, like the stuff that we'd be more interested in.
There was that little kind of section of Toy Story, Cars, Ratatouille, and it's all aimed at children, kind of 4 to 7.
I'd say 4 to 10.
Yeah.
Ratatouille, I think, is more aimed at like
Fine.
slightly older.
4 to 10, say then even, yeah.
Toy Story and Cars is definitely 4 to 7.
Yeah.
But I think if you're including Ratatouille in that, it has to go up to 10.
So I think that kind of almost is its own land, aimed at that particular age group.
Yeah.
And that's why you have got a lot of smaller rides there.
Yeah. But I'm glad that you enjoyed it somewhat, even if I didn't convert you into falling in love with it. But do you now understand more why I do?
No.
Why I do love it? No?
No.
Oh.
Yes and no. I think we had this conversation. I don't think I'll ever fully understand it because you have a passion for Disney, like I have a passion for nothing. And wait till you finish and then you can cut.
I'm sorry, it's just how blunt you were. You have a passion for Disney like I have a passion for nothing. I was like, that's really sad, but friggin' hilarious.
Yeah, it's true though.
No, I think you're very passionate about gaming and football.
You.
Yeah.
So for me,
I think you take passionate very differently.
Yeah.
You're very like methodical and calm when you're passionate about something. Does that make sense? Like when I see you
wear it on your sleeve a lot more.
Yeah. I'm bold like my t-shirt.
So it was really cool to see you in your element, right? Should we get on to what I did like in
Yeah.
the Fantasy Kingdom? Fantasy Kingdom? Fantasyland. The main park.
So you're on about Disneyland Resort, which is the main park, and in that you've got Fantasyland, you've got Discoveryland, Adventureland, and Frontierland.
Whatever Lauren has said. In there.
Let's start simple. So we're talking about the main park. Which one of the 4 lands, because I'm not including Main Street, which one of the 4 lands was your favourite? So Discoveryland was where you've got Buzz and Space Mountain. Fantasyland is where you've got all those mini dark rides and the carousel. Then Adventureland is things like Pirates and where we did that walking thing. Up to Robinson Treehouse.
Yeah.
And then Frontierland is Big Thunder and Phantom Manor.
So, in terms of the rides, I probably had the most fun in Frontierland.
Okay.
But in I've forgotten the name of the previous one already. The one that had
Adventureland.
The one that has pirates and I think that for me was the best experience. But it still needs more attention because we came off of Pirates. It was the first ride we did. Really good ride. Really enjoyed it. And then we were exploring up treetops like the Lost Boys in Peter Pan.
We went through Skull Rock. We went down to Davy Jones's Lock and then back up again. Yeah.
Right. And it felt really kind of interactive and immersive with what we just did. Because they're it's quite a short jump, right, from Pirates to Peter Pan, and that's kind of, how it felt. Like you could imagine they're set in the same world almost.
Yeah, because you've got Pirates of the Caribbean, which is obviously its own thing, but when you walk outside of it, you've got Captain Hook's ship, the Jolly Roger.
Yeah.
And then Skull Rock, but they've blended Skull Rock in with Davy Jones's Locker, which links into Pirates. So the treehouse technically has no theming connected to any of it, but it does still feel like it fits.
Yeah.
I think it gives you, in like Peter Pan where they what's it called? Where John with his umbrella, come on bear, dun dun dun, we're following the leader. That whole bit, it feels like that.
Yeah.
I just wish that you'd do that and then come out of the Peter Pan ride in Fantasy. Just go full circle.
Yeah, I mean that'd be great. I think that was really good, and that kind of like consistent theming needs to happen more. Or like the theme when we got down to the other end needed to slowly change and lead into whatever was next. And that was the only place in the park where I felt like that happened. I think it's a real missed opportunity
elsewhere.
Yeah, like we came out of Haunted Mansion, Phantom Manor, and then we did. That's not when we went on Big Thunder, but we went over to look at Big Thunder at that point to see if they were.
They are meant to be connected.
Yeah, it's not apparent.
I'm glad you said that, because when I first went, I agreed. I didn't see the connection. Now that I know the backstory of both, it makes so much sense, and I don't understand why it wasn't so obvious. So you know when how the house is set is meant to be like the old mansion in a miner's town?
No.
Think like Scooby-Doo 2.
Yeah.
Where you've got Winkle's mansion.
Okay.
And he's developing the old mining town.
Right.
And they chase the monsters through that abandoned mining village. Is that idea that he's like the landowner of all these mines, and he has that mansion.
Okay.
And then you know the bit where you've got all the animatronics who like glow in the dark. They're obviously meant to be like ghosts. And you go through and you see like the sheriff who's lost his head, and you've got two cowboys shooting each other, and the card game. That's meant to show you the town that the mansion's attached to. Because as you go through the door at the end, there's a tiny model of the mansion at the top.
Right.
With the phantom cackling at you.
I did not get this. But I also feel like if I went back and did it again, I still wouldn't get it. I don't think it's obvious enough.
I think it is. That whole, like, everything they're wearing is very Western. It fits with that, like, cowboy style.
Okay.
I get it.
Yeah?
Yeah. But I appreciate...
But you also want to get it?
Not necessarily. I get it. It makes sense.
Okay. We'll disagree on this.
Yeah, that's why I was like, I appreciate your opinion, but I disagree with you on this occasion. Right, so, you'd say Adventureland was your favourite.
Yeah.
So give Adventureland a rating out of 5.
4.
4. Frontierland, rating out of 5.
4 again.
That's more because of the rides, though.
Yeah.
I do, when they decorate for Halloween, Frontierland is by far one of the most beautiful and well-themed areas. Because you get all that Western stuff, the pumpkins, and then it goes into Cocoa for a bit. It's just, yeah. What is your rating for Discoveryland? So this is where we did Space Mountain and we did Buzzes, and it's all like futuristic. It was France decorated as if it was like steampunk, but it's heading more towards that futuristic element now.
We also did the other Star Wars ride.
Yeah, Star Tours.
Yeah.
Of which, if you haven't seen the update, we're getting new tours on there.
So that was fine. I think, unfortunately, whereas Peter Pan and Pirates are kind of not the same, but you can put them together and the theming feels similar. Star Wars and Buzz Lightyear don't blend.
Yeah, they don't.
It's still like a space story, but one is really bright and colourful and the other is not.
I feel like Buzzes would fit better in Toy Story Land.
Yeah, it would.
Because they could do it that it's like you're going into the TV show.
I think if you were going to pair Star Wars anywhere, I would put it, keeping it in the same park, if we could just magically drop things into different places, I would put it in Frontierland on the other side of Big Thunder, because of the kind of dusty Dust Bowl planet kind of thing.
What's that got to do with a Western?
Lots of Star Wars is based off Westerns for a start.
Yeah, but it's in outer space and it's futuristic.
It's not futuristic for the most part.
I disagree with you there. I think it is.
Okay.
That's not where I thought you were going to say drop it into studios, keep the live action stuff in studios.
I meant if we had to keep it in.
Oh. if we had to keep it in that park, it can stay where it is.
Fine.
I personally would move it to Studios and do a little Star Wars area
Yeah,
there.
for sure. I mean, if you had the option to move to Studios, it would make more sense.
Yeah, but as I said to you, for things like Space Mountain, I've done it before. It had the Star Wars overlay. I did prefer it about the Star Wars overlay, but I get why they've done it. So, what is your rating out of 5 for a Discoveryland?
Probably a 2.5.
Okay.
I enjoyed the ride still some good rides, but it just doesn't feel like a cohesive environment to walk through.
That's fair. I can see where you're coming from with that. Fantasyland. So this is the bit that's very princessy, very pink. You've got the carousel, the flying elephants, Alice's labyrinth, the maze that we didn't do because it's run down and I'm annoyed at him for it. Going all the way around to those like mini rides where we saw the windmill.
Yeah, we did one of those, didn't we?
We did Pinocchio.
Yeah. So this, for me, is probably the best land in terms of it has a theme, it sticks to it, it's consistent. Yes, you're right. Alice does need cleaning up and modernising and repairing.
Yeah.
Right.
Let's not go there with that maze. It breaks my heart.
So I mean, for me, there's nothing there for me. It's a 2 out of 5 for me. But if I'm looking at an objective basis, taking the me out of it and trying to look at it objectively, this would be like a 4 or 4.5. It's their strongest hand in terms of theming. And I mean, if I was gonna look at them all objectively, I would say that was the strongest. Then Adventure, then
Discovery or Frontier?
Frontier, and then Discovery would be the weakest. If I was trying to look at them objectively.
Yeah.
But not for me, because there was nothing there for me.
That's fair. Right, this is one I haven't spoken much about, but that is Main Street.
Yeah.
Opinions and thoughts of Main Street USA. So that's that whole strip walking up towards the castle, and the whole plaza outside the castle is considered part of Main Street.
So this is actually really interesting. When we walked in to Disneyland, we literally walked into a parade.
Yeah.
Shining brighter, star brighter, shining star, Disney brighter. That one.
Do you mean Dream and Shine Brighter?
Yeah, that's what I said.
Okay.
Yeah.
Continue your sentence.
So that's literally that was what greeted us as we walked into the park.
You gotta dream a little bit.
Stop. I've heard it a million times over the last week. Not just from you, like from the recording.
Oh, yeah.
When we first walked into the park, onto Main Street, we were greeted by whatever it's called.
Dream and Shine Brighter.
That one, yeah. And that was fine. Quite a big crowd for it. Quite exciting, and it gave me a hope. And also, that was kind of what I expected the entirety of Disneyland to be like, all the time, everywhere. That's what I expected. And I was kind of like, oh, this is going to be really high energy and exciting. And then we walked up Main Street itself, which looks a little bit tired. We did notice quite a few bits that are peeling.
Yeah.
But
I will agree with you on that.
But we didn't notice it on the first walk up. We noticed it afterwards. So on my first walk up, my first impression was good.
It was when we were sat near the bandstand, wasn't it?
Yes, before the fireworks.
Yeah, and I was like, oh look, that's starting to peel. That shouldn't be peeling. Yeah, it's just like the paintwork down the right-hand side of Main Street. There's just the left-hand side still looks okay. It's the right-hand side that looks like
probably
it just needs...
probably with the direction of the sunlight, because sunlight will cause it to peel. But anyway, yeah. So it was good. Like the first walk up Main Street was like, oh, this is really cool. It does just feel like any parade of shops, but it's still cool that it's like, been manufactured as like this facade for Disneyland. I liked the kind of branding of the shops. I wish that some of the shops would have like more branding, like say there was like a chemist, which there was a chemist, when you walked into the chemist, it was just a part of a larger shop, right?
Yeah, I agree.
So no, they are, yeah. But I wish that even if it was not stuff for sale, there was like a Disney chemist that you could walk in and like interact with.
Yeah, no, I agree with you on that. I think again, it's like they've made the shells great and the theming of the shells is fantastic, but every shop near enough sells the same things.
Yeah. So you don't actually need that many shops.
It's been a consistent thing for Disneyland Paris for a while where you can walk down both sides and you're seeing the same stuff.
Yeah.
Whereas I would, we walk past, this is the one shop that does actually do something different. We walked past the storybook shop and you went, oh, what's in that shop? And I went, oh, it's books. Like, it literally is like meant to be a library.
Yeah.
I deliberately didn't go in there with you because there's about 6 books I want to buy and they're all about 30 to 50 euros each. And because we had the bigger suitcase, I knew my brain would kick in and say, buy them. I don't need to buy them. I need to pay for a wedding. So that's a good example. Like, it's called the Storybook Shop. It's based around this idea it sells books, and it sells books. But then when you walk down, and then you've got, like you said, there's like a chemist down there. But you walk in, it's just selling like clothes. There's a mechanics store as well, and yeah, there's ways around it. The cast members are in like the costumes to fit it, but it's like they've not been.
I didn't even notice them.
Well, that's the idea. They don't want them to protrude into your ideals, but they match and they blend, and they've all got different costumes depending on where they're working.
Yeah, but I want them to because.
So, like for example, when we went Phantom Manor, they were dressed.
Oh no, yeah, that I noticed, but I mean in the shops.
Oh, they do it in all the shops as well.
I did not. Yeah, I noticed it in a couple of shops, which were like themed, like the sweet shop we went into.
Oh, the confectionery.
Yeah, I noticed it in there. But stuff like I wish in. We'll use the mechanic shop this time, right? Now, if imagine that's not an actual shop for a minute, right? It's just a shell that you can walk into, right? And everything is like a Disney version of a tool or something like that. And you can just go around, you can look at them, maybe some of them you can pick up and interact with, and you've got like a greasy mechanic looking person in there who talks to you about it, right? I want more stuff like that because what I was saying that Disneyland really let me down on, and that maybe I just thought it was something different to what it is, but I really wanted more theming, right? More theming. I want to feel like I'm really getting lost in all these different little stories and events, and a lot of them are actually quite subtle.
It's subtler than you'd expect.
I don't want it to be subtle.
Yeah, Disney is meant to be like, come on, this is a Disney top. It's got Minnie Mouse literally across me, and it's neon pink.
Yeah,
that's Disney.
This is not subtle.
Nothing I do is subtle.
But Disney decided, for whatever reason, that anytime they're telling a story or anytime they're having theming inside the park, it has to be subtle. And it honestly is the only reason that I didn't really fall for Disney. Was that I just wasn't getting
what it sells.
It was just a theme park.
Yeah.
Just a theme park.
So with that being said, because I do need to wrap up this video.
Yeah.
Would you go back to another Disney park?
I mean, we're going to Tokyo.
I mean, take me out of the equation. Would you, on your own, think, actually, if I'm in that country, I'll go to this place?
No.
Okay. What is your rating out of 5 overall? The whole experience?
If I said a 3, I'd be harsh. If I said a 3.5, I'd be generous. So it's somewhere in between. 3.25. Yeah.
Okay. For me, the whole trip was, that part of the trip was a 5 out of 5.
I know.
I'm going to give it a 4. Because I wish there was some stuff that we got done that we didn't get around to doing.
Yeah.
But that's more just because I didn't have enough time. But I would love to take you back at some point, but I'm not going to push it upon you.
Okay.
Because that is what a kind and caring person would do.
Yes. and you want to be those things.
I'm trying.
I love you.
I love you too. So that's our opinion. We're going to do a couple more videos like this in the future, rating rides, rating shows. It might just be me, it might be both of us, so don't forget to click
Like and subscribe.
Thank you.
There we go. Comment too, that's also helpful.
Yeah, I really want to push this channel this year. I feel like I've let it slide a little bit over the winter period where work got very busy, I got very tired. So yeah, I'm going to try and keep more content coming out.
Yeah.
So like and subscribe and see you in the next one.